White pawn marches to d4. Black pawn marches to g6. White bishop marches to h6. Black knight captures bishop at h6. White knight marches to c3. Black bishop marches to g7. White pawn marches to e4. Black pawn marches to a6. White pawn marches to h3. Black pawn marches to b5. White pawn marches to g4. Black bishop marches to b7. White bishop marches to g2. Black pawn marches to d6. White knight retreats to e2. Black knight marches to d7. White queen marches to d3. Black pawn marches to e5. White pawn marches to c3. Black pawn captures pawn at d4. White pawn captures pawn at d4. Black pawn marches to c5. White knight marches to f3. Black pawn captures pawn at d4. White knight captures pawn at d4. Black knight marches to c5. White queen retreats to c2. Black rook moves sideways to c8. White queen retreats to b1. Black knight retreats to e6. White knight captures knight at e6. Black pawn captures knight at e6. White kingside castling. Black kingside castling. White queen marches to d3. Black knight retreats to f7. White pawn marches to f4. Black bishop captures pawn at b2. White rook moves sideways to d1. Black bishop retreats to g7. White knight marches to g3. Black rook marches to c3. White queen retreats to d2. Black rook captures knight at g3. White king marches to h2. Black rook captures bishop at g2 and gives check. White queen captures rook at g2 and breaks check. Black pawn marches to g5. White pawn marches to f5. Black pawn captures pawn at f5. White pawn captures pawn at f5. Black bishop captures queen at g2. White resigns and black wins the game.